Going on, guys? Hilltown here. I wanted to show you a product that I put on my Chevy truck recently, and this video applies to people that have GM trucks or GM cars equipped with active fuel management. Active fuel management was something that General Motors came up with 10 or 11 years ago to basically reduce engine power from 8 cylinders to 4 cylinders when the vehicle wasn't under load. And it sounded like a great idea at the time to conserve fuel, but it had a really bad side effect of fouling spark plugs and excessive oil consumption. So my truck here has got 175,000 miles, and I noticed that this thing's starting to use oil. I run my rig according to the oil life meter, which works out to be about 7,500 miles between changes, and halfway through an oil change I'm down a quart, and then by the time it's due for an oil change, I'm down another quart or so. So it was getting a little out of hand. So I picked up this device to disable my active fuel management, and I want to see if it improves the oil consumption issue that I've had, and it'll essentially keep this thing in V8 mode all the time. So I've been running this thing about 3,500 miles. I'm at about 50% on my oil life meter, and we're going to check the oil. As far as fuel economy goes, I've lost about a mile per gallon overall since I've been running this device. I used to get about 16.6 overall. Now I'm about 15.6. But let's face it, if you buy a 6,000 pound truck to save fuel, there's something wrong anyway. All right, so like I said, I've already been running this thing, but I put it back in the package so you guys could see it. So here it is. Got a little LED light on the end of it. You can get that in several different colors. This one happens to be blue. So I'll check the oil, we'll see what we have, and then I'll plug this thing in and show you how it works. See how we're looking. So we're right about the halfway mark on the stick, which is good. Ordinarily I'd be down at the bottom of the hash marks requiring a quart, so it's definitely a difference. So I should mention, because there's a couple different contributors here, before I changed the oil the last time, I ran seafoam in this thing in the crankcase, drained the oil. It was black as anything, and a lot worse than usual actually. And then right after I did the oil change, I plugged this Range device in, so maybe there could be a little influence from both the seafoam and the Range. I'm not sure which. So to plug this in, just go into your dash, find your OBD2 port, plug the Range device into it. It's going to flash a few times and then remain on solid. And now when you start your vehicle, you'll be in V8 mode going forward. And reading some reviews, I know some people were saying it worked for a while and then they had to pull the Range out, plug it back in order to get it to keep the vehicle in V8 mode. I haven't experienced that. This thing's remained in V8 mode ever since I plugged it in. The other thing I haven't experienced, according to the manufacturer, they tell you to disconnect this thing if the vehicle's going to sit idle for a few days because it can drain your battery. I haven't noticed that either. I don't know how long I've let this thing set, but certainly a night or two, and I haven't had any problems. So let's fire up. There she is, V8 mode. And she'll stay there all the time. One more thing to add. I didn't notice a difference in the way this thing sounded. I have stock exhaust on this thing. It sounded the same whether it was in V4 or V8. As far as responsiveness, might have improved slightly, but I didn't really notice a lag before. So the only thing I was looking for is to control the oil consumption, and it seems to have done that for me. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll see you next time.